So how much does life insurance cost? This is a question I get asked quite often, and I usually respond with, how much does it cost to have it or to not have it? Because there's a cost either way you go. This is the next video in a series of videos I'm doing this month in honor of Life Insurance Awareness Month. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss a single video in the series. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 7 key factors that go into determining how much life insurance really costs and what you might be able to do to bring that cost down. So let's get into it. Your mindset changes everything. If you'd like to develop the mindset and the belief system of the wealthy, learn the skills necessary to live within your means and then grow your means so that you can make it to retirement on time and with enough money to make it last, and maybe a little bit early, then you've come to the right place. My name is Paris Clough, and this is Financial Self-Reliance. I've been a life insurance broker and agent for almost 20 years. I've trained dozens of agents, run my own agency, and helped hundreds of clients with their insurance needs. So I have a lot of experience, and I want to share as much of that as possible with you. There are a lot of things that go into determining the cost of life insurance, and frankly, they're all very individualized. So let's talk about a few of the factors that determine the price or cost of life insurance. The first one is your age. The younger you are, the less expensive it's going to be. The older you are, the more expensive it's going to be. If you're older, they know your life expectancy is going to be shorter, so they know you're probably going to die within a shorter period of time. So the cost of insurance is higher. The second factor is your health. People who are in good physical health typically have lower costs of life insurance premiums. Those that have chronic conditions or chronic illnesses typically have to pay higher premiums. Now, a lot of people think that if they have a chronic illness like heart disease or some kind of situation like that, they won't be able to be insured, and that's not necessarily true. There are a lot of companies that are willing to insure you if you're willing to pay the cost for that in premium. Another factor is if you smoke or not. Smokers typically pay more than non-smokers, so this might be the incentive you need to actually stop smoking. Another key thing is the hobbies that you participate in. People who have high-risk hobbies like rock climbing, racing, skydiving, and other things typically have a higher premium than people who don't participate in those risky activities. Another key thing is your gender. Females typically live longer than males, and because of that, insurance companies are willing to give females a lower price than males. Another key element to the cost of the insurance is the type of insurance that you buy. Whether you buy term insurance, which is temporary, or you buy permanent insurance, which lasts your whole life, the cost associated with those different types of policies are different. I'm going to be doing another video on the difference between term insurance and permanent insurance, so make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss that video. It's going to be worth watching. And lastly is the coverage and the term that you purchase, the amount that you want to buy, and how long are you paying for that. Typically a 5, 10, or 15-year insurance policy is less than a 20 or 30-year policy, because the risks associated with you dying within a shorter period of time are less for the insurance company. If you have a longer policy, the higher the risk or chance that you're going to die within that time frame, and so the insurance company charges a little bit more because you have a higher likelihood of dying with more years in the terms. Not a lot of people know this, but let's say that you applied for insurance and you got a health rating because you had some condition. Well, if that condition gets alleviated, or let's say you stop smoking after several years, you can actually reapply and retest to get a better or new rating based on your new health situation. It's good to know that the health rating that you received at the time you applied for the insurance doesn't have to last forever. I've had several clients who, several years into their policy, made changes to their health situation, whether that was because something cleared up or they stopped smoking, and they were able to retest and reapply and get a better rating and have a lower cost in premium because of it. Every company that offers life insurance has a different way of calculating the price or premium. So you could have 2 people that apply for the same amount of coverage, same health, same age, same gender, and a lot of other similar things, but have a totally different pricing or premium because they applied at different companies. So it's important to do a little bit of shopping to find a company that's willing to provide the best rates for your situation. This is where an insurance agent who's a broker can come in and be very handy, because they can shop around and make sure that you're getting the best price for the situation that you're in. A lot of people think that they can't be insured because they have a particular health issue. There are several insurance companies that are willing to work with higher risk individuals, people who have health conditions that other companies won't insure. So it's important, again, to look and shop around and find an agent that might be able to help you find one of those companies so that you can get the life insurance that you need. Let me give you a quick warning though, when you go to buy life insurance, especially if you click on a life insurance offer from an ad or from an email, it's important to recognize that when they're offering the rates that they're telling you about, it's typically the most healthy person alive in the world. And usually they'll draw you in by giving you the promise of a low rate and a low premium for a significant amount of life insurance. And then when you personally go through the underwriting process, or when you personally go through the process of being priced, the price that they eventually share with you or give you is much different than the price they quoted in the ad or on the commercial or in the email that was sent. A lot of companies, unfortunately, what they'll do is they'll overpromise and underdeliver. This rarely happens with my clients because when I sit down with a client, I take these things into consideration and I make sure that I underpromise and overdeliver. That way you're pleasantly surprised when the insurance policy comes in better than what we talked about. So here's the question of the day. Would you rather have a company or insurance agent overpromise and underdeliver, or would you rather have them underpromise and overdeliver? Put it down in the comments below which one you'd prefer. If you'd like to know how to calculate the exact amount of insurance that you need for your situation, make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell, because one of the videos I'm going to do in this series is how to calculate your life insurance, and I'm going to share with you several ways to calculate the right amount. You don't want to buy too much. You don't want to have someone sell you too much, but you don't want to buy too little as well. I've never had a client that received a life insurance proceed tell me that they got too much money. However, I have heard a lot of people say, I wish I had bought more. So make sure that you plan properly and that you get the right amount of insurance for what your needs are. Insurance probably costs a lot less than you think. In a recent study that was done by Life Happens, they found that people thought life insurance was 3 times more expensive than it actually was. If you're on a really tight budget, I just want to share with you that it's more important to get something than to have nothing. Many years ago, I insured my brother-in-law, and he couldn't afford very much insurance. He told me a dollar amount that he could spend each month, and I made sure that he got the most insurance possible for that dollar amount so that he had some coverage for his wife and his child. Well, interestingly enough, within a couple of days of that policy being in force, he received a knock on his door very late at night. It was out of nowhere, and he was very concerned who it might be. When he opened the door, there happened to be someone who was high on drugs, and he wasn't sure if that person was there to do some harm to him or was just there because they were knocking on the wrong door. Thankfully, my brother-in-law was able to get that person away from his house and away from his family and talk to him outside. But it was a very scary situation, and he called me right away and he said, Paris, I'm so grateful that I got some life insurance in force. Anything could have happened, and he was grateful that he had life insurance in place. We don't know what tomorrow will bring, but we can plan today for what might happen tomorrow. One of the best ways to make sure that you get the right insurance is to work with a financial professional, a life insurance agent that knows what they're doing. Typically, someone who represents multiple companies, what we call a broker in the business, so that you can have that agent compare multiple companies and give you the best quotes for your situation. I hope this video helps you understand how insurance companies determine the cost of life insurance and that you can actually play a role in lowering that cost. If you don't have a life insurance agent that you trust, or a family member that could refer you to a life insurance agent that they trust, then reach out to Financial Self-Reliance at hello@financialselfreliance.net. And if we can't help you, we will guide you in the right direction so that you make sure you get the insurance that you need. Make sure you click subscribe so you don't miss any videos. And if you haven't watched last week's video, go ahead and watch it so that you can catch up on the series. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Now, if you're on a tight budget and you're not sure how much money, I would seek out